We are here for map 3 of your lower final. G2 taking on SK. It is G2 selection, their second of Lotus, to see if they can pull ahead 2-1 or if SK want to continue ruining the G2 party.
Oh, Jelena being spotted out by the reveal, so has to teleport to safety.
Nicely done. Careful, these pieces of utility are flying towards the SK hold. Gotta hit your shots, Fluxy, she does. Jelena's got another. And SK have brought 2 back. Vania, she'll have to run with the classic in hand. Amy will join forces, and actually just the noise of running away from the Omen alone is enough to kind of throw SK off guard completely. Yes, there's a smoke towards C, but there is no defender on the left-hand side of the map.
That's a perfect opportunity for G2 to sneak their way in, establish a post plan, and with the damage already done to Flux and Jelena, they're a little bit of a walking wounded at the moment. Rescue again hasn't seen a soul, being the initial defender of A. But it's what G2 decides to do in this post plan.
30 seconds left.
Where are they going to put the spike down? What avenue are they going to want to explore? At least checking in towards spawn. If anyone close by. We know otherwise that there's absolutely nobody home.
Amy.
Toxin screen down.
I mean, this is brave. Moving forward, yes, as you say, there are some low HP bars on the SK side, but getting aggressive might leave Vania in the clutch. Moves in. Information. Had to find the kill. Doesn't now. Gets back. Wants to tuck tail, getting cover. Knows where all of the players are coming from. Now that's promising. A disagreement in positioning though leaves Vania up close. Forward, in fact, she finds the first. 2 more to go. Right clicks flying. Can't find anything more. Fluxy and Rescue with both kills. Spike already stuck halfway. And SK will find the pistol. 3v2. Retake going their way.
Yeah, it's this initial fight over towards main. Paranoia on paranoia, and even though damage was done, it's SK that come out on top. They vacate the C site.
1 enemy remaining.
Pop the smoke down and play inside it perfectly. Forces G2 in an uncomfortable position, and off the back of it, a pistol for SK, starting off how they want to continue with a win. But Akita's invested a bucky into this round. It's not a massive investment, but you get a double satchel into sight. Rescue could be under pressure. Grenade, snake by, and smoke is enough to deter G2 from wanting anything to do with the C site.
Slowed right down. All flung towards A. Amy trying to stop vision feeding through. SK still have answers. It's Lisa that gets the opener. Akita dropped. Jelena smoked at the best possible time. It's through the smoke and through the wall. What is going on?
Spike down A.
2 quick kills. It's just all from the hit for Jelena. Unbelievable stuff. Flawless for SK. Yes, it's against pistols, but it's the fact that it's just so accurate. Didn't scope in. Only saw 1 player out of the 3 that she found. Look, there's the first. There's your second. And even the third. She doesn't even bother to use the right mouse button. All on the left.
Yeah, even though it's against pistols, it's just the flair of it, Ryan.
Shadows traveling.
Can't help but be entertained. Now with weapons back out, it's not a buy to be scoffed at for SK, which is something that they've been relatively consistent in, right? For the bonus round, doesn't look like a bonus at all across the last few maps that we've seen. With Fluxy on an elevator position. A 1 and dip here could be massive. Gets the kill, drops down, TP's out. It's not an easy angle to pre-aim, but Akita has the adjustment.
Nicely done. Lisa getting chased down. Oh, and it's actually nearly caught Jelena amidst the madness. 3 on 5, but it could have been more damaging. G2 waltz their way into A. Spike down, putting another condition on this retake, putting another thorn into the side of SK. And I mean, how do you even get back into this round, Summer, if you're SK? Yes, you've got the weapons, but so many bodies. And in fact, G2 here to just deliver even more bad news. Amy tapping away at the double. Twy last to go, and G2 have their way with their first.
Yeah, this adjustment from Akita is absolutely insane.
One enemy
Obviously
remaining.
gets the follow-up onto
Flawless.
Lisa. Over towards Hobbit door. I don't think Fluxy was necessarily ready to be deleted that quickly, especially on that off angle. By the way, plenty of money for SK to invest. There's an operator in Jelena's hands, opens the door. Wants a deeper line down A main. That's a lot of space that they've actually been able to gather. G2's presence isn't unknown outside C, and with a deep line on A, definitely a lot more confident to push forward. Like I was talking about, ahead of the Viper's wall. It's one of the ways to combat the unknown.
Prowler doesn't connect. And Jelena forcing Amy to pay the ultimate price. Vania moving forwards. Blocked by the orb. Akita also keen on the idea of going towards C. Another smoke goes up. For SK, it's just delaying. Twy behind it, gets the first. Res Q1 with the paint shells. Vania
There.
removed. Door
30
swings
seconds
open.
left.
G2 thinking about slipping the net and trying to head towards B, but there's reinforcements everywhere for SK. Reveal going over. Now they know that nobody's through the door. Well, it's very obvious where the last two from G2 currently reside. Through the smoke, Mimi does take down
10
Fluxy,
seconds left.
but the damage is already done. Orb drawn back. Opportunity to hunt, but I think SK know money is much better in their pockets than out. They will take a third and let 2 survivors slip for G2.
This is what I was talking about in regards to the C site itself. I believe we're a little bit too late. Snake back goes out, paint shell follows it up, and players are separated. Those that have the dive utility, like Akita, the double satchels in, or Vanya TP's in. It's a great way to separate the gunfights, and even though SK only lead by 2, G2 already feeling in the pressure, wanting that tactical break. Drew with his opportunity on the mic. You can understand a timeout round 5, right? In the sense of you want to nip any problems in the bud, but realistically, they've only had 1 rifle round to play with. So, not giving G2 an opportunity to stabilize on by themselves. Calls for a higher power.
I think for the most part, Summer, you've got to look at how early this timeout's called. I think traditionally in previous maps, you know, it felt like it came more in the second half, or if it did come in the first, you know, we're talking like round 9, 10, 11, you know, very, very late. Anyway, this one comes very early. G2 understanding, look, we need to get ahead of the curve here. We can't be fighting from disadvantages. This is where we're meant to succeed in a BO5. This is our selection.
A gift.
And there's no denying that G2 is filled to the brim with some exceptional talent in the EMEA. Need to put that to use. SK, unfortunately, First class delivery of bad news. Mimi gets one back either through the door, and actually, it becomes more plausible. A B play, Rescue. She has been worth her weight in gold so far in this series. See if she can turn the heat up once more. Force G2 to sweat on this C site, drops the paint shells, but happy to play the passive game. And SK learning from what G2 did on Breeze on their defense. Play for the retake. Invite them in. We'll put the pressure on, but on our own terms.
The numbers are dropping. Mimi falls. Now SK2 to the goods. Fluxy wanting to push it even further, but Vanya, 2 out
What
of
is that
nowhere.
from Vanya? 2 more players to go, both of which low. Reveal destroyed, so the position still compromised. She's got bodies to shoot. Over the corner comes Lisa, just flying through the sky. The most unorthodox play. And it does catch the Omen by surprise. A very nice try from Vanya. But SK still strong with resilience. I mean, some of that could have been miracle work from Vanya. Those first 2. I mean, what is that? What is that? And then it's just unfortunate, really, that Lisa has the confidence to just jump high. Doesn't matter if she dies, just has faith that the trade would come in.
Doesn't even need the trade, though. Somehow jumps above the bullet, but connects her own. And off the back of a timeout, weapons invested for G2. And yeah, it's an SK round. Another opportunity. This time with a couple of ultimates invested. Fluxy wants to spot players coming, rotates over to assist.
Scary stuff. Nikita already closing the distance. The gap shrinking on site, but Amy's found a double. Vanya removed. Rescue waiting in the wings to strike. That is going to be damage done, and she can't help but swing. There is no safety in the drop position. G2 still trying to tangle with SK, and finally they'll have a very winnable situation. Lisa moving through, hits the first. She closed the last round and looking to do the same here. Prowler sent towards back site. And now they're making sure that this round is just going to go their way. You can see the movement. Yes, the primary jammed. Choi spots over the top. Needs to regain the Phantom, and she will. Damage done. 70 points of health. She now switches to the operator. It's going to be stuck halfway or full. Flank coming in from Eva. Her first kill on Lotus, and arguably the most important.
I mean, it doubles the round count. Triple kill from Amy here puts them in a great situation, but
1 enemy remains.
2 ultimates invested in a 3v2.
3v1 as well, wasn't it?
3v1, yeah. And even then, it comes down to the wire. Eva obviously stepping up
In we go.
to get the final kill, but still an expensive round for G2. No real investment for SK, but Jelena does have that tour de force. So at least a threat in favor of the defense that G2 are going to have to be wary of.
Here Akita goes. Flying through, showstopper 1-for-1. And it is exactly that in the kill feed. Both ults invested. Eve around the corner, catching Twi by surprise. Jelena, an expected trade. But things fall silent. Sheriff drawn for Fluxy. Praying for a miracle.
Spike planted.
Spike down. Nowhere to go. SK reduced in numbers, reduced in weapons.
Cover going out.
G2 might just have their way. Yes, util trade, but this is just delaying what feels like the inevitable SK. They'll creep forward. Spam given. Fluxy shot the shoulder of Akita, who now moves up to 3 in the rounds. Her raise looking good. Missed shot for Jelena. And Mimi makes sure that G2 move to their third. You see, yet again, you know, we're 2/3 of the way through the first half. It's been repetitive between them at Summer. That both teams are neck and neck in the first set of 12, at least. That's how it's shaping up to be.
Yeah, and for the G2, they couldn't necessarily afford to lose much more to try and take Jelena down. Just about able to reinvest up for everyone. And talking about reinvestment, Jelena wants that scoped weapon, but it's a glass cannon. Oh. Doesn't even matter. No shields needed if you're going to hit shots like that. That's Amy down for the count super early on. And their ability to scale up behind her will, at least in this round, denied.
Full silent. G2 mulling on the 4-on-5 that they have to work from. Mimi intrigued by what's in front of her towards B. And this is some good information. Has to hit the shot. Rescue fortunate to be alive as she backs up into cover. But actually, there's a level of disrespect about this. She doesn't sit back, she moves forward. Now able to clear out what's between A and B. The answer is nothing. But C is the destination. One defender, Twy. See what she's got in the locker. Finds the first. Spike drops. Now blood will be drawn, but from both sides as Mimi gets the trade. Nightfall used. Lita trying to shoulder barge her way through with the brute force attempt. Utility, Mimi able to find another while Defon. Jelena gets one. In fact, another on the C site. A hat trick in the round. And SK will find justice in round 8.
Some of these rounds are just so chaotic when it comes down to the site hit itself. Yeah, this shot is absolutely nasty, so open it. But when we get onto the site, again, Snakebite not being held for when the site hit comes through. You can just put that orb up. Twy puts the Snakebite on the floor, and relatively easy pickings for damage as players try and force their way through, able to isolate. But then you're looking at what happens after it. The SK players are so quick on the rotate, constantly keeping the pressure on G2, not allowing them to get into a comfortable post plan or even into a post plan at all.
Twy used towards C. Prowler picking up the information that there is someone outside A. I say someone because the quantity is still an unknown for SK. 3 sit behind the box. One towards C, one towards mid. Yet again, G2 making SK feel like they have to draw blood from a stone.
There.
Nothing given up early doors. And they know that in cheap rounds like this, G2 know how to make it expensive. They have clashed heads with SK a few times and deliver good news. Flash goes out. G2 ready to move in. Akita mind-sweeping the utility to try and give clear pathing. And then, not all over! Oh, it's fantastic from Lisa! There are still defenders, still opportunities. SK make it 3 in front, 6 on the board in total. The lead vastly growing.
Down B.
Fantastic hat trick from Lisa. Nothing more than it. G2 looking for damage, but now they need to start looking for round Summer.
And even you talk about G2's ability to make it expensive on the lower buys. That was just a complete shutout. Multi-kill from Lisa yet again.
Still waiting.
Fortunately for G2, they have the ults in their favour. Close to Mimi's. Vanya's and Eva's up on 9, so getting out on site. There's things to work with, but again, this has realistically been where SK's thriving on the initial site hold, especially towards C. Now even bolstered up with Jelena on the operator. With information, there's no one out over towards A. Rotates to start in to come over in the form of rescue.
Leaves it to the last second, but Jelena will escape with her life. This is an important engagement, and it goes Amy's way. Akita with a second. Jelena missing everything. Right now, Vania to close the gap. She cracks open the C defense, but it's not the final destination. G2 have pivoted. It's towards B with the bomb.
Spike planted.
Fluxy one back.
Fluxy?
Oh, Fluxy. Looking to take matters into her own hands. But now it's all on Rescue's shoulders. She's got a 1-on-3 to win. Looking to defuse the spike, but amidst the amount of bodies that are stacked up, she knows she has to go hunting. And she falls at the first hurdle. Amy will put the nail in the coffin around 10. G2 move up to 4. I mean, my question is somewhat answered, Summer. I did say, you know, you need to start winning rounds. I mean, it's a good step in the right direction, but need more of the same for G2.
And a round like that's not really replicable, right? They had 3 ultimates invested. And admittedly, lovely use of it, right? Eva's Nightfall comes out, deafens the players on site, Vanya TP's behind, all the while Mimi still Garden's going off, so the pressure's mounting.
I'll find you.
Adrenaline rushing, and G2 come out on top. The bait and switch into C. From C, sorry, into B. And now, again, wanting to sneak up behind this Viper's wall. Pop out of the smoke into sight. At least early warning signals for the SK side. They got decent information outside of C and B. Now the reveal being shot. They have to expect this A hit.
It's quick. Akita gets the opener, Rescue. Watch it from the sidelines. The entry attempted. Lisa nearly lining them up. Instead gets away with damage, but no more. Fluxy now looked upon. At least that's what you would expect as G2 piled up the bodies towards A, but instead it's a push at the door. It's a fake, a decoy thrown SK's way.
Poison's off. 30 seconds left.
There's a paranoia for them to re-clear tree, but Fluxy wants to go for a wander herself. Neither of them ready for that engagement.
I mean, SK is so out of position here. Fluxy was on site. They had another player in heaven. Instead, it has to be a retake. And Fluxy, well, she's good for one. You now turn towards Twy and Jelena. Good start. Flash. Blinding. But it has facilitated the operator to get on the angle. And now they can start to put the screws on this defuse. They can start to stick the spike. Because G2... well, both bodies round the corner, missed shot! It's unorthodox from Jelena, and it allows Mimi to run rampant from tree. 5 on the board for G2, and yet again, it feels like both teams near inseparable in the first half.
Yeah, you can see in the replay, it's the missed shot, and Mimi's not even concentration, just immediate target locking onto Twy, on towards the spike. Jelena's an afterthought, really. Now talking about an afterthought, an SK lead might be an afterthought given this round. Now the last couple have gone through. Low buy for SK. Showstopper out for Akita. Misses, but aware of Jelena's positioning.
Jelena just death by 1,000 paper cuts at this point. Vania gets another. Rescue jumps in. Vania's got a second. This buy being torn to shreds. Akita finds Twy. Fluxy 1 on 5. And it feels like the 7-5 scoreline that has been monotonous between the previous 2 maps will be broken, lifted to a 6-6. Unless Fluxy can pull out one of the best rounds you will ever see. One smoke has the paranoia, and Akita makes sure it does not go any further. So after 12, it's 6-6. Both teams inseparable. SK now move over onto the attack. Let's see and test their grit as we move into the second half. We're going to a break. When we return, the second half of map 3. If you're only just joining us, you have joined us at the very middle of this series. 12 rounds in to our third map. Halfway through, potentially an entire BO5. Conditional, of course, on how the next couple go, but by and large, still anyone's game to win. 1-1 in scoreline. G2's pick of Lotus. SK now move on to the attack. A pistol to kick us off here. Exciting times ahead, of course, Summer. We are really getting into the deep end of this series, and for the most part, Lotus has been this back and forth saga that I feel like was pretty much promised to us at the beginning of the day.
He got 2 trap plays off of each other's contact. Both Omens holding the paranoia to get messy.
Boombot sent round the corner. Rescue gets the opener. You are right, that was destined to be a very sloppy first engagement, but it's SK that look to keep things clean. 2 for the price of nothing. Just information fed through the systems of G2. And out towards C, the spike moves in.
And the C defender also falling. Vanya walking wounded. Mimi saw there to assist, but not a single kill going in favor of G2 makes this a little bit more of a complicated issue. 5 players ahead, a lot of work to get done. Mimi gets the first stall, but how many more can you expect from the IGL? 1 is the answer. And now that's 2 pistols for SK so far in this map, and relatively consistent for SK, I feel, across this series is getting the pistols. And of course the conversions off the back of it. It's definitely a boost to the rounds that they've been able to convert.
Nicely done, as you say, from SK. Let's see what they've got for us here. In round 14, lesser investment made by G2, but still looking to get a little bit of output from pistols.
Retrieving flash.
Any damage is good in a round like this. For SK, forfeiting basically the entire map. Sort of cornered in towards A, but fortunately for them, G2 gambling correctly. Guess in rounds like this, it really is just a spin of the wheel, right, Summer? You gotta take your lucky dip. A, B, or C. Which one do you rush? Wrong guess. Now let's see what you can do when the spike's down and SK are set up.
Could be looking to play for the exits, see what damage they can get done. Obviously no investment from G2.
Oh, nicely done. Either getting one, Barney, or another. This is a 3-on-3. Desperate times, maybe. Door continues to spin towards Tree, and SK disinterested in fighting G2 in what is now their home ground. Retrieval of another kill, but nothing more than it. Will not overstep their boundaries, save called. Vanya, I mean, to walk away with a Phantom in this round, Summer, pretty impressive.
Yeah, honestly, daylight robbery with that one. But again, the thing is for SK is knowing how they play the second round and wanting to get those 3-0 leads to the halves is you're likely going to see an almost near full investment from SK. Lisa obviously drops the weapon she was meaning to invest over to Twilight. Opts for a bandit for herself, and again, 3 premium rifles, a pocket guardian for Jelena, and it's an incredibly dangerous third round.
Shells are
So much
flying.
util.
Yeah, so much damage looking to be taken care of. And to be fair, you look at G2, a lot of these players do eat the damage early. Akita half, Eva half. And again, Twy for the side of SK isn't looking too good either.
Decent amount of space though gathered for SK, and with the door open, or soon to be opened. Away into the B site with Twy and main. At least a little bit of safety. It's mainly the chamber piece leaving behind over towards A. Obviously with assistance in Fluxy in Hobbit. Start to make things difficult for G2 on the retake.
That'll do. 1 for 1, direct trades. Eye for an eye. Out of the 2 Vipers. Spike's still down. Lisa getting rid of the util, delaying G2. Bear in mind that this is the investment that they make. They are looking for blood. Lisa spills it towards Heaven though. 2 kills out of a pistol. Rescue, Fluxy, both with frags. SK move up to 9. A 3-round, a comfortable buffer now between the two, Summer. And is this where we start thinking desperate times call for desperate measures? Your money's running low. Probably the half buy here. Take a full in the next, and that investment there kind of sculpts the entire rest of Lotus. Bear in mind, G2's pick.
Normally when you start seeing the maps come out further down the line and best of 5s, that's when you tend to see the closer matchups. More similar experience or success on the maps as that you get deeper, but right now it seems that SK are starting to ramp up. There's a hero rifle going in the hands of Vanya, but unfortunately, you take a peek at the map, SK currently are nowhere near. Instead, wanting to try and deal with some of the utility set out towards C, but wall still stands. So at least a positive for G2 have some security to leave that site. I say they avoided the hero vandal, they might just be walking into it.
Vanya TPs into deeper cover. Not wanting to poke the bear that is SK. Very slow out of this SK side though. Just making every second feel like 10. Vanya walks forward, tries to get the damage. TP's back, but it's a good first frag. Gotta try and get into cover out of TP, so tries to sprint towards tree. Instead, SK able to capture out. 4 on 4, post plant yet again. SK teeing off from another course that looks good for them to take.
Look at the double flank as well. All of the SK players getting pushed towards the back of the site. It's an opportunity to overrun here if they're quick enough. There's a weapon picked up for Eva as well.
Oh my words! Lisa's double. G2 really just can't find ground. Although I say that, Eva, she's found the double. Tap of the spike. Time ticking. Jelena took the jump spot. Knows that it's not being stuck. And while the kills are fantastic, there is no time.
And that's the way SK get their double digits on the board. It's not clean, it's not pretty. It's a round win nonetheless. Yes, this double from Lisa, lovely, but out of nowhere, Eva has her own answer back. And yeah, like you said, the kills come through, but just not enough time for the defuse. So more consolation prize. Gets the ultimate online, sure.
Darts in, takes the TP out after firing. Jelena looking to set SK off on the right foot yet again in round 17. And you can really feel now that the pressure is on G2. You've got to win this round. You've got to put these rifles to use. Prowler into the smoke. Fluxy takes the run away, and Prowler back. Well, now Vania's position's compromised, and it's quite obvious where she is, but Fluxy TP's right into the Omen. Nice trade, Shaw out of rescue. Eva, but Vania's there for the double! And Vania dreamed of being a doctor, but born to kill. Gives G2 their 7th, a new way of life. Talked about those rifles being important. And Vania lending her helping hand and getting G2 back into the picture.
Yeah, they Prowler out Vania's position and almost have short-term memory loss.
Where are they?
Doesn't move and collects 3. Didn't like the success over towards A, tries it towards C, and Mimi, operator in hand. Yoinks! Rescue out of the sky.
Orb goes up, back
Another
down, Mimi.
spotted.
I was going to say, I think the information was fed through there, but no one with quick reactions to find that girl. Nicely done by Jelena. Evens the playing field once again. I mean, these rounds are just nail-biters, aren't they? There is just no separating. Vania, well, her ult used, but I guess it's information yet again. G2 happy to play on that. Lisa tagged up by the op. Mimi puts it in park towards Spawn. TP taken across. Yes, the orb goes up, but Fluxy's moved through. Amy's holding the entry under the guise that nobody's going to be there. Amy looking to ride this one out solo, but Lisa through the top of the
30
wall.
seconds left.
Will catch up the Viper. Tap of the spike from SK. This time it's stuck. Planted deep. And will not falter. Jelena spotting one on the flank. 3 on 3. Kita, good start. Brings out the showstopper. While Fluxy removed. Mimi another. Her operator running rampant. TP from one side to the other. Cheeky as you like from Vania.
It's an ankle breaker of a move. But even then, it's just a delaying time. What a great position to be in for the post plan. Yeah, this shot from Amy. I believed the hop, skip, and a jump out onto site might have saved her on the cross, but instead almost attracts bullets to the skull. SK starting to feel a little bit of the pressure now with the back-to-back rounds from G2, and sure, they still have the lead. Still the only team up on double digits, but I don't necessarily want G2 building their way back into this.
Tone setter, isn't it? How both teams react out of this pause. SK, I mean, they were flush with cash, but now some of you look at the money and, well, yeah, okay, there is an argument for investment here, but long term, it's not like SK have got millions and they can buy for the rest of this game. It is very shallow pockets, in fact, for both teams. So at this point in the game, you know, 10-8 on the scorecard. 1 round the difference between success and financial destruction.
Now we win.
See what SK bring forward in a round like this. 3 stingers, Bandit, Jelena on the classic. I think maybe Headhunter obviously there and could rely on the ultimate, only 2 points away. We'll see what SK make of this situation.
it's not necessarily the prettiest buy, but they do have things to work with. They get onto site, showstopper almost online for rescue. Isolation, Twy, back against the wall, 3 players, and Paranoid. Simple pickup for G2 to get the entry. Off the back of a showstopper, they absolutely tuck tail and run. Don't give an opportunity for rescue to equal the playing field.
Spike planted.
Selena first
Time.
line of defense.
There.
Oh, they can see her.
Say ticking, but yeah, there is a barrage of G2 players waiting. Rescue with muffled audio has to back up with the use of the Nightfall. 3 on 5 here for SK. Rescue, stinger in hand, can't find a thing. Fluxy, the other SMG, and actually, never mind. I'm so sorry I jinxed it for you, Fluxy. That is unfortunate. Amy turns at the right time. Akita puts any threat to bed. G2 up to 9, the gap back down to 1. I mean, yet again, Summer, it's literally down to the last 6 rounds or so that make or break these games.
Akita just flying through the air. Silly little replay there, but off the back of a timeout, SK unable to convert. Sure, it's a lower buy, so it's main focus on what they do here with a full investment. Again, operator back out for Jelena. Focus of the main pack of SK players over towards this A main. This is realistically where we're having most of the sloppy engagements from both teams, with a barrage of utility going out either side.
Welcome to my world.
Even Jelena getting worried her teammates weren't going to shoot the boom bot.
There.
SK, slow but steady towards the A side of the map. Trying to dig their feet in once more on an execute. Pushes them to 11. G2 will have enough money. It's SK that run into financial trouble should they encounter a loss. But of course, G2 want to level the playing field in terms of scoreline. Mimi, ready with the ult. Ready with util already. Trapped on site. There goes the wall. Thorn shortly after. And in fact, this is just about trying to buy time. SK haven't decided, elected to go for A instead. It's through B. Yes, the Viper ult is there, but it's not covering the site. It's just covering main. You are right. It's another change in direction for SK.
They have to decide soon. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. Spite is still towards tree, so it's expected to be A, but this is where the Steel Garden comes through, but just in time, Rescue gets the kill. Beaver's here on site. But only good for one.
Only one.
10 seconds left.
Needed more. SK, I mean, you're right in the thinking, Summer, you know, 20 seconds to get on a site, plant the spike. Like, you're just not leaving yourself enough legroom into this round. Somehow, SK are able to do it. It's not only with bated breath, it's now that they've got the advantage. They are the one with numbers. Varnia flashed through. Yes, the pit is on the other side of the wall, but they tried to remove Toy from the occasion, and gone is the Viper. Jelena next on the block. Lisa needs to come up huge. Rescue here in tandem. And Varnia 1 on 2, operator in hand. She will not get past the steel wall of Lisa. 11-9, SK2 in front, and 2 away from victory. G2's pick under threat once more.
It's a good little dump of utility to get into tree, deal with the Viper's pit. And then it's just an awkward cross out of tree. One player directly to your left, one player directly in front. It's pick your poison, really, of who you decide to fight. Early aggression down
forward.
towards 8.
Retrieving flash.
You are right.
Finds no
It's
one.
all cloak and dagger.
At least now they're going to know where this site hit is going to be coming through. TP gets cancelled by Fluxy. Or at least a baited one.
Mimi, oh my word, it's just so much utility. Burning. Acid at the feet. Gotta be careful. Pulled in by the Fate Util. Rescue finds the first. Amy trades, leads another. Twy hits back for 3. Eva, yes, snappy on the response. But another round where G2 disadvantaged in numbers.
There.
They've got grit, but this will be the ultimate test.
It's going to be a difficult
Bring
one.
them down.
Fortunately, there's not much utility for SK in the pocket. It's going to be straight gunfights. Paranoia available for Vanya. Pops it out, but Eva's already dropped.
Vanya, 1-on-3, will not make headway in round 21. SK up to map point.
Match point.
Tried and tested this Lotus. We talked about it before, but it looks to be SK running to edge in front in this BO5.
Enemy down.
3 tries at victory here on G2's second selection. That shot, by the way, is ridiculous from Lisa.
Now we wait. Rip and tear.
This has been ridiculous throughout this entire series so far, I think it's fair to say, Ryan, and continuing the forward on map 3. But now, a lot more asked from the G2 side. Only 2 players with those rifles. No ultimates really to write home about for either side, but for SK, it's just normal business. Taking space, isolating the player. Down C long, Vanya just about gets to safety.
Oh my word. Even I like tensed my fist there out of just scaredness, the resistance from SK towards C. And the problem is it's, again, a disguised early default. Noise being made. All the pieces back over towards A. Those Viper walls go up. Intersecting towards A. Jelena. I mean, clearly the information is there. Amy was spotted on the corner.
Left.
Time of the essence.
That's 20 seconds again. They're leaving it so late. But the spike looking like it's posturing up to go in towards A. Well, Rescue is pulling all the attention to B.
It's all on Eva. She has to go huge on the Guardian. It's one and only one. Twy. She'll trade. 4-on-4. G2 need to start building bridges into this map. It starts here. Backs against the wall. Rescue on the corner, but Amy has other ideas. Vanya drops down, shoots to disguise the move, but Jelena has leveled the playing field once again. SK don't look like they want to stop. The spike is being diffused. The spam goes through. Vanya is sticking it. The spam is successful from Jelena, and it's all on Lisa. How poetic this will be. The leading tower of Lisa does it once more. SK take map 3.
Lisa just a stars out performance in this map and closes it out, sneaking up close and personal. Akita